Welcome to Steaming Along. In this video, I will be sharing an experiment testing chemical reactions. Hello! For today's experiment, you will need an empty plastic bottle. It can be a soda bottle, a water bottle. Mine happens to be from some mouthwash, but whatever empty bottle you might have. You will also need a balloon. Mine's yellow today. You will need baking soda, which you can find in your kitchen. You will need vinegar. White vinegar works best, but if you have another vinegar, like apple cider vinegar, that will work too. You will also need a funnel, and a measuring cup and measuring spoon, specifically a tablespoon, to measure out our ingredients. Now that we have our supplies, let's get started. The first thing you are going to do is you're going to take your balloon and you are going to put it onto the bottom of the funnel. Next, you are going to take 1 tablespoon of baking soda and you are going to put it into the funnel so that it falls into the balloon. You may have to shake it a little bit. You're going to make sure all the baking soda goes through the funnel into balloon. Once it's gone, you can now take the balloon off the funnel and put both the balloon and the funnel off to the side for later. Next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your measuring cup. Here it is, and we're going to fill it up to the 1/2 cup line with our vinegar. So I'm going to open my vinegar. I'm going to pour it carefully into the measuring cup so it reaches the 1/2 cup line. See that? Next step is we're going to take the vinegar that we measured and we're going to pour it into our plastic bottle. And the final step before our chemical reaction can begin is we are going to take that balloon that we filled with baking soda. We are going to attach it to the top of the bottle, careful not to let any of the baking soda fall into the vinegar just yet. Once you've done this, we're ready to do our chemical reaction. The final step to create our chemical reaction is to slowly lift the balloon so that it dumps out the baking soda into the vinegar in our bottle. But before we do that, you have to make sure that you are going to put your hand where the balloon meets the bottle so the balloon stays on nice and tight when the chemical reaction begins. Once you're done that, you are ready to lift the balloon, dump it in, and see what happens. Are we ready? Here we go. Let's do a countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Oh my God, there, our chemical reaction filled up a balloon. But what happened? What actually is filling the balloon? I'll tell you. The balloon filled up with a gas called carbon dioxide, which is created from the chemical reaction between baking soda and vinegar. A chemical reaction occurs whenever 2 substances combine, mix together, rearrange to form other substances. This is because the baking soda and vinegar are made up of atoms and molecules, and during a chemical reaction, the atoms and the molecules and the electrons and the protons in those atoms kind of all get jumbled up. They get attracted to one another or repelled by one another, and they kind of smush together into something new. But the amount of atoms stays the same. The total amount of atoms stays the same. So not only does the chemical reaction between the baking soda and vinegar create carbon dioxide, it also creates 2 other things called H2O, or water, and sodium acetate. But what exactly does that look like? I'm about to show you. In chemistry, chemists use something called chemical formulas to represent substances and compounds as well as the atoms and molecules that make up those substances and compounds. They also use something called chemical equations to represent what happens during chemical reactions. Here you can see a chemical equation that represents the chemical reaction we just saw that filled up the balloon. In the first half of the equation, you can see that vinegar and baking soda are represented by two different chemical formulas. They are combined together with the plus sign. The equal sign shows the chemical reaction, and then the other side of the equal sign shows the new substances created. In this case, sodium acetate, water, and carbon dioxide are also represented by chemical formulas. Now, remember when I said that all the amount of atoms stays the same? If you were to count all the letters on one side, so all the H's and all the C's, and then count all the letters on the other side of our equation, they would match. I hope you enjoyed our experiment today and learning about chemical reactions and chemical formulas. Happy sciencing! Thanks for watching Steaming Along. To find out more about what Somerset County Library System of New Jersey has to offer, visit sclsnj.org.